Hello, everybody, and welcome to the exciting start of Season 4. I am your host, as always, Cheese Film, and joined with me is my partner in crime, Mr. Hecubus.
That's right, Mr. Hecubus. They call me Mr. Hecubus.
The way you're holding that monster looks like we're sponsored by Monster, but we are not. Nobody sponsors us except ourselves. We're independents. And independent what, you might ask? Why, of course, we're independent to... So that was our intro leading into this spooky, eerie trailer that terrified the world when it first came out. Do you know the trailer I'm talking about?
Are you talking? Yeah.
It's currently playing.
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. 'Cause that was the TV spot.
Yeah, this is the TV spot where we're cracking an egg and there's light coming out of it and it's scary and we don't know what we're getting into because the movie's called Alien and there's an egg. What's it going to be? It's all shrouded in darkness and mystery. It's quite the tone setter.
It is,
in my opinion. And I kind of wish I was around to see it when it first.
Let me tell you something. No, you don't.
No, really?
Because that commercial used to give me nightmares when I was 8 years old. This movie came out in 1979.
79.
And just hearing that sound, like if I was in a different room, now I got nightmares for a week. I did not see this movie until after Aliens.
Really?
I saw Aliens first, then I saw this. And that stupid trailer right there, 30-second TV spot, was too much.
Too much for you. Of course, we're talking about the original, the one and only, the Alien by Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott's Alien.
And it's funny about a lot of this movie because a lot of the movie, its marketing back when it first came out was very basic. It wasn't like that trailer we just shown. Like, it's just a whistle. You hear people screaming, the cracking egg, the void. And then you look at the poster and you've got the cracked egg with the green mist coming out over it's unknown what it is, what that ground
is.
It's
alien.
Yeah, it's foreign, it's alien. You don't know what it is. And I think Ridley Scott and whoever did the marketing for this movie did a fantastic job because even today, this stuff is well known.
Yeah.
It has not gone away at all. And
their tagline in space,
nobody
can hear you scream.
Breathe. Yeah, I'm not breathing. I hear you scream.
Yeah.
Last night, we were talking over the phone, and I told you, the one with the egg and the brownie.
Yeah, the brownie band.
Yeah, that's what it is. But even that, like, it's so innovative for a man who made just a space horror movie. It was so creative.
They really weren't going off of anything.
No,
it was the first time for this kind of stuff.
It really was. I don't know if you can, because Star Wars had come out a few years prior to this, and then a whole bunch of things came out spoofing this. Do you think this was inspired by the success of Star Wars, or do you think it was just...
Well, Dan O'Bannon, when he wrote Dark Star with John Carpenter, and the balloon alien in that, he came up with that, and he wanted to make a movie that was... more like the alien was scary, not stupid and ridiculous.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And that's where this came from. And I think it was called, I forgot what it was originally called. But it was like something beast movie. Or like a space beast or something like that. And that's kind of the impetus for this thing. And they just got green lighted a lot quicker because of Star Wars, because this really is nothing like Star Wars.
No, it's
like
not.
Battle Beyond the Stars, that kind of all those things that came out. You could go with it's an adventure movie in space, and this is not.
Yeah, and I asked because like Dark Star came out before Star Wars.
Before,
and there has been hundreds of sci-fi horror stories that sci-fi writers would write before Star Wars even came out,
right?
And things like Flash Gordon were a thing before, but it being so close, I was wondering did Star Wars propel this? And you got a point with Star Wars' massive success. Space was kind of
the thing,
the frontier to conquer, ironically. And I think it owes a little bit of its infamy to that, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not a lot, because they're not anything alike. The science in it isn't alike.
Nothing is alike.
Tone, the spaceships,
way
nothing.
More grounded.
It is. It's grounded in a way. Well, here, I'm going to pull up. I'm sure you've got the Nostromo ship.
I think there's a picture of the ship, yeah. Nostromo, by the way, is Italian for shipmate.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, so that's kind of, makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Because they have a shipmate, the stowaway kind of thing that you don't want to have around.
I find it funny that, here we go. So I'll put this on the screen. We'll talk about the way the ship is designed, because it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, it is enormous because it's a refinery.
Yeah. And so, because it's towing something too.
The refinery.
Yeah. So to have something this otherworldly.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, it doesn't look like anything out of Spaceballs, well, not Spaceballs, Star Trek or Star Wars or even Spaceballs. It's pretty cool that it did its own thing in its own way and looks hella alien. And this is supposed to be the stuff that the humans make.
That is in the year 2037.
In the not so distant future.
I don't think we're gonna make it.
You don't think we'll make it in 2037?
Deep space mining. I don't see it happening.
But I'm kind of glad we're doing this movie, because I am pretty, I guess, notorious for not really liking this movie.
Right. So our initial reaction is, I thought it was, first of all, I couldn't even watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was terrifying. Then when I finally did see it, I liked it a lot. You, on the other hand.
I don't know. I find it to be a dry, not so scary movie, because I don't know. I didn't find it to be scary. I thought it was a little bit boring. I thought it was too slow. And you had a lot of build up for something that I have been spoiled to.
Yeah, that's true.
When this movie came out, this is the first anybody's ever seen of this kind of thing. Like, this was the brand new, and never been foreseen thing. Like, the H.R. Geiger look of the xenomorph, we'll talk about that scene with John Hurt, that kind of stuff. When I got around to actually seeing this, so many things have parried that so much that it wasn't new to me. It wasn't
alien.
It wasn't alien. It was the norm.
Yeah. And towards the end of the movie too, they show the alien walking like this.
Yeah.
And the studio made them put that in. The point was that you don't know how it moves. That's what Ridley Scott wanted, that it's completely alien, and so you don't know how it's getting around. You see the little thing come out of his chest and run away, but he didn't want to show that much of the alien, because your imagination would do the rest.
Right. And I will give it its credit. Those things they do, they're cool. They're the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They really, really, really are. I just think that, like, once the whole crew is dead and Ripley starts putting the ship into self-destruct, I kind of check out. I'm not really. It's not
the exciting part,
for me.
The big finale.
It's kind of just by the numbers, like, she's gonna start the countdown. Then there's obviously gonna be a problem later, and then she's gonna have to stop the countdown to restart the countdown, all that kind of stuff. I just found it to be kind of unoriginal, ironically, being basically the trendsetter.
Before.
Yeah. And I don't know. I have come to really, really like it. And I stand by that it is an excellent thriller movie. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to call it a horror movie because I don't think it's scary.
Right. You can't say it's a sci-fi movie because that is kind of all it is there's a problem happens in space instead of on a submarine or in a high rise or whatever.
And like the imagery in it, the creatures in it, they're disgusting.
Yeah.
They're gross to look at. I got the face hugger on screen right now, and a good shot you picked from because it's nasty.
It is nasty. That and like when it comes out of his chest, that was awesome. Yeah.
I'll put that up here too because I guess I should say like a graphic warning because
that one is pretty
call
bad,
it a chest burster for a reason,
right?
And that's John Hurt. That's such a young John Hurt. I'm not used to seeing him as a young man. Because again, like I was exposed to him in Hellboy. That was the first time I saw him.
Oh wow, he's old in that.
He's very old in that. So to see him at such a young age in a movie that I feel like I've saw before because everybody loved this movie and wanted to parody it themselves or take stuff from it themselves.
Because Saturn 3 kind of takes a lot from this, and that's not that good.
No.
It's got Kirk Douglas and Bo Derek and Harvey Keitel and a robot that he controls with his mind. He puts a thing in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And like Kirk Douglas is old in it. I think it came out in like 80 or 83. And his girlfriend is Bo Derek. And it's stupid, but it's basically the same thing. The robot falls in love with her. And these people are on a moon of Saturn. And they're isolated. And a monstrous thing is threatening them. Do you know what I mean? They take it like that, but it's still just a sci-fi movie, just like this.
I'll put the weird donut ship on next because
which is completely alien.
Yeah,
and later on in the lore, you kind of maybe because like in Alien Romulus, they are. It seems like they're more well accustomed to alien things. Whereas in this movie, this is like seems like it's the first time humans are ever experiencing
an alien
anything. It's not a civilization because the alien is not what flew that ship.
No.
They were aliens too, and you got the navigator guy with the thing coming out, and then everything in that ship is alien.
I love that you can define a lot of this movie as just being weird and foreign and unfamiliar and alien. Because the title doesn't just mean the creature.
Right.
It's the entire environment that you're in.
It's the entire thing. Everything. The planet they go to, LV, whatever. The ship, the other alien that is dead and has been dead for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then the hatchery with the blue laser light.
Yep.
Listen, I did not know this until this week. That blue laser light is the Who was practicing for their tour in the next sound stage.
For real.
It's their Who's laser that they're using for that.
That's cool.
I think that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And I always thought that blue light stuff was really cool. Yeah. And then there's that hum sound and he puts his hand and it changes. Everything about that. And then when there's not a picture of this, but the alien egg, if you look, the stuff is dripping up.
Oh, is it?
From the eggs. Yeah, it's completely alien. It's just weird. And I love it. And then that thing inside and it flutters. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, because the face hugger sits in the egg and it's like a round like a little sack in there too.
Yeah.
And it's all webbed and veiny.
Yeah.
And gross looking.
It's raw chicken.
Yeah, it's raw chicken.
That stuff is raw chicken.
And it's innovative. Like we're talking about this, and then it's a lot of this was food they used.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's crazy. It's all human inspired.
Yeah,
which is where this
made on Earth.
Well, yeah, but where this franchise would end up going.
Yeah,
it's all human inspired and wrapped around with the engineers, the people who created people.
Yeah, turns out they're the engineers.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm too over the top with that. I think it's kind of a cool concept. I just don't think you should have tied it to that guy in the first Alien movie.
Totally should not have done that.
You know,
I like those other movies too, and when I like that it's Ancient Aliens because I like that show too.
Yeah,
I would watch that. So Ancient Aliens coming here and artwork, primitive human artwork that depicts what actually happened from the movie,
right?
Where aliens created us and stuff. I just thought, oh, that's so cool. I was all on board with that. And those, I don't have a problem with those movies. I like them. The only ones I really don't like are I like the first Alien versus Predator, but I don't like the second one.
I see. This is what's kind of funny is because I know they're not technically good movies, but I love them both.
Sure.
I love the first one. I love the second one just because you get more. Yeah, Alien versus Predator.
I was kind of bored with it, but the first one is again Ancient Aliens.
It is
two different aliens.
Yeah,
coming to Earth.
Oh man, and I think that's so cool that the Predator, the ultimate hunter, has like the
ultimate prey.
And a killing
most dangerous
ground.
Game.
That they go there as like a trial of combat, essentially.
Yeah, right.
They do. It's for fun for them.
Fun.
They're messed up.
And that's where the pyramids came from.
Yeah,
stupid stuff. I love it.
I think it's so over the top, fake.
Yeah,
that it's fun to play with.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
I'm gonna put on screen the Xenomorph's dripping mouth.
That is my favorite part of the movie.
When his lips start peeling back and you see his teeth.
The first time I saw it, it was on a CRT TV. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. That would look really good in the movie theater. And then on my birthday last year, or 2 years ago, when we went to go see it, it is very cool. That giant mouth just right in your face. And then you don't expect another mouth to come out of it. It's great.
And I love how... here, I'll put this on the screen too. Before I comment on the creature's design and the origin of it, I'm put this on the screen. It's the silliest shot in the whole movie when he like puts his hands out.
Yeah, he's like, boo!
Yeah.
When he gets Tom Skerritt.
I think it's the silliest shot, but here's a good example. A lot of the toys around this movie, a lot of the dolls and...
Well, hang on. There was that one... Okay, we can talk about that now because I got the picture of the toy. You weren't allowed to go see this movie. People who played with toys back then, because it wasn't like now where you and I are buying toys and we're adults.
Right.
Toys were for children. And, I can't remember the name of it. They came out with a Godzilla.
It's here too. Okay. Good.
Which was really cool. The Alien. And like the Godzilla, there's a thing in the back and his fire came out. The Alien, there's a thing in the back and that little mouth came
comes out.
And then there were these things called Shogun Warriors that were just really, they're this big. They were large toys. And they were like these robot samurai guys. Mm-hmm. So that whole line came out and that was it. Until way, way, way later, probably Todd McFarlane, there were no Alien toys. There was that toy that did not sell well because kids don't know it. They can't go see the movie. And you can get Godzilla because you can see Godzilla.
Yeah.
And there was a Godzilla movie just about every week on TV. So, it was just bizarre that they would come out with a toy for a movie for people who can't see it. And on the other hand, those toys were made mostly for boys who think that stuff is gross and gross stuff is cool.
Right.
So, of course, they're going to get it. But a lot of it didn't do as good as they anticipated.
But I find it funny. I want to throw this one up here too because you got another good shot of the alien's face. This is from the profile.
Yeah, that's the one where you kind of see him walking.
Yeah, slow,
stupid, and they didn't want to have it in there at all.
But it's a good shot. It's a good shot. It's a good close up that you've got. I like this close up.
Yeah, I like it too because I want to see more of the alien.
I do too. It's kind of like Jaws. The more you have, the worse it kind of gets, but you do want it.
Yeah.
But that kind of isn't true because Aliens has a bunch of these things in it, and they do move around a whole lot, and I think it's better. I think Aliens is the superior movie, but I do want to talk about.
They're completely different.
Oh, they are. I mean,
they're
vastly
entirely
different.
This is a haunted house movie in space, is how they say it, and that's a Vietnam War analogy.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. I just think it's a little bit better. I think maybe I like the supporting cast a little bit more. I think the Colonial Marines are a cool idea and a cool concept. Very cool. And I like how they're not just a bug in space. They're a threat.
They're on a bug hunt.
Yeah.
They say that in the movie. And there's a lot more action. There's not just one big thing at the end.
No.
There's action throughout the whole thing.
And it's still scary. Like they're still picking them off one by one.
Yeah.
The Marines think they're not going to make it out.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Game over, man.
Game over. But back to the shot with this alien, because you can see it in the film, just like this. There is no human skull in that head.
Yeah, none.
Everything after this, with this specific one, because this one's got a name. It's like I cannot remember it now, but kind of like Bruce the Shark from Jaws. He's got a name too. And they like to put a human skull attached to the large dome.
Yeah. Like
in this toy. And it's not there. And everybody's like, no, if you look really carefully, you'll see it. I looked. It's not there. I don't
think there's anything human about that either.
I'm going to put the toy up here too, because the toy you can see it. You see it. It's got, and like, I understand, like they're humans as the host. So like, it would make sense for the human to blend
like their DNA in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what
it makes sense, but like, it looks kind of corny, like it looks a little corny and cheesy to me when you've got a killer beast, and just like a skeleton face, like there's the eye sockets are there. There's no eyeball. I think it's cooler when it's just like
there's no face.
Void.
Yeah, I do too.
That's why I like Aliens.
You can't reason with something that doesn't have a face, man.
Right. That's kind of why I like Aliens better, because the warrior alien is what they're called. When they got the ridged head. Love that. I love that design. I kind of like.
I like the Queen design too.
The Queen design's awesome.
Yeah.
So the person who created this design was H.R. Giger.
Right.
He did the whole. What is it? What are we? Human
people?
But we are flesh, and what is that called? There's something mechanical. They're
biological?
The biomechanical look to it.
Yeah, right.
What are we? We are biological. Can't think of the word. I'm a robot.
He did the cover for Emerson Lake and Palmer's I think it's called Brain Salad Surgery or something like that. Brain Salad. He also did a cover for Blondie album too. That's weird, but it's kind of one note, his stuff. Because I'll tell you something else we're talking about H.R. Giger now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he, a lot of his stuff, if you look at like special features or something, they show other things. And it's even those two album covers resembled Alien. Like that's his thing, man.
That's his style
stuff. And he made the Dead Kennedys put a poster that he made. It's called Penis Landscape. And they put it in their album, and then it says Dead Kennedys on it. So they got in a ton of trouble for having that in there, and like underage people could buy that record. So then you had to order it. So my friend did order it, and it's disgusting. And it looks a little like Alien, and you can tell what it is.
Yeah.
And it's called Penis Landscape, and it is not an accident.
I also think it's kind of cool that it's grab on the shelf, in the Alien shelf. Yeah, grab that. I'm going to go back to you real quick. You're going to hold that up to the camera, and I'm going to say that you can definitely tell. I passed this guy's booth at DragonCon, and immediately knew what it was.
Oh, hell yeah.
From far away, you guys see it on the podcast, it's hard to see. But once you go right next to it, you
this thing is cool.
You immediately identify it.
Yeah.
You immediately know what that is.
If this thing fluttered, I'd probably start screaming.
Oh my God, if that thing moved, oh. And I mean, I think the guy wasn't even that much. I had to get it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's cool.
Made. It's very cool.
I'm glad I have it because, I mean, I can sit here all day and tell you that, like, oh, I don't really like this movie. I love a lot of this movie. I own this movie 3 different ways, like. It might not be my favorite of them all, but it's definitely something I won't not watch. We've seen this movie. You and I have seen this movie a whole bunch of times. I did rewatch it for this episode because it's Alien. You're not going to not watch it.
I really love this movie. And I just came over to this. Jerry Goldsmith did the music for it. And it's perfect. It's eerie and creepy and I don't remember there being any sound cues for jump scares or anything, but everything about this movie is a home run to me.
I don't think there are. I think because we've seen the movie a lot, we know where the potential jump scares are going to be.
Right. That could be it.
But in terms of actual jump scares, there's not really any at all.
Like
there's
when Tom Skerritt buys it, that's one. But like when Veronica Cartwright and Yaphet Kotto get killed, it kind of seems like they're wrapping up. I'm going to get 2 this time,
right?
But they're both at the same place. Like you see a big shadow of it moving around behind them, and then they react to it, and that's just cool as hell. And then you don't see them die. You might see a little bit of Yaphet Kotto dying, but you hear Veronica Cartwright dying, and it's terrible.
And you know what? And because you got the close up of the cat's face.
Yeah,
the cat's just watching.
The cat doesn't even care.
And you've got the chains in the air, kind of casting these shadows on the cat's face, and it's just that guy screaming. The alien's not making any noise at all. There's no sound of like him being eaten or ripped open or cut open or anything like that. It's just slowly fades out until it stops. And it's so a couple things. And I will give a movie its credit when it has amazing cinematography like this movie does. It is far out. It's amazing.
It is.
And insane sound design.
Yeah.
You can teach a class on sound design just with this movie.
You totally can.
And I'm so glad Romulus took a page out of this because...
Yeah, and it's not just the slurpy sounds or gross sounds or people talking. Or it's when they're going to blow up the ship, all that stuff, the sound of the mother computer.
Yeah.
It's really
I love
great.
the retro futuristic look to this too. I think that's awesome. But and the absence of sound.
Yeah, that too.
Like the quiet, the
like when the
anticipation of something.
The face hugger goes on to John Hurt. It makes that sound, and then they go to the outside of the ship, and there's no sound.
No,
and it's really cool.
Or when they're having lunch, and they're all talking and stuff like that. And then you just hear it hitting against his insides, and it's a muffled punch sounding like thing. And then it splurts out, and it's amazing. The sound in this movie is so amazing.
It is so good.
It's so good. Like if you can put the whole movie on a CD and listen to just the movie, just the audio, you would have a very similar experience.
Yeah, you would.
Like if this was a radio show, it would still work.
It would work, and it'd be gross.
It would be damn. We keep talking about John Hurt and some of these cast members. I'm going to put up the photo of the whole crew.
Yeah. Here, I'll go through their names. Oh, the actors' names.
Yeah.
So Tom Skerritt plays Dallas. He's the leader he's a captain of the ship. Sigourney Weaver is second in charge. Then Veronica Cartwright, I think she's a pilot or something, or a atmospheric person. You don't really know because they're just doing their job. They're not like announcing anything. No, they're just... The only time you know something is when Ash, who's played by Ian Holm and is the robot, they quarantine them because there's an alien thing on his guy's face, and maybe we shouldn't infect the entire crew with this. Right. But he lets them in because obviously he's working for the company. And
you know what? They build up that twist really, really well.
Yeah, they do. You don't see that coming at all.
You don't. And because he plays a human. He plays it like he's part of them. Like, am I really going to let them die? Or am I going to try to save him? Because he doesn't even want him on the ship yet.
No.
He tells him, absolutely not. You've got a foreign object on you. And they're like, we can't let him die. You can't. We get him in the med bay.
Yeah.
And when it's revealed, because he starts, it's kind of weird how he starts deactivating or betraying them.
Yeah.
Because he starts trying to shove a magazine down Sigourney Weaver's mouth.
And then when they bash his head off with Yaphet Kotto, who's an engineer, and then there's Harry Dean Stanton, who's his helper.
Yeah.
And that's everybody that's in it. Gets a fire extinguisher and breaks his head off. That looks great,
and
too.
It falls to the side.
Yeah.
And he's still going, and then he completely comes off.
Yeah.
And they set him up on the table.
And then you get why he wasn't letting them in to save his life.
No.
He needed that alien. That was the whole point of him being on the ship.
He recognized it. It was like data processing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was, should I let him on or should I not? It was, is this what we're actually here for or not?
Right.
And like that, why do they know where this thing is? All this kind of shrouded mystery, none of it's ever answered. We don't know why.
Yeah, you can kind of piece it together because after he lets it in, then Sigourney Weaver's talking to Tom Skerritt about, have you ever shipped out with him, Ash, before? He's like, 2 days before we were ready to go, they say Ash is the science officer, and that's it. So they had gotten the signal before they took off.
Right.
They went, got their ore, whatever the hell they're going to refine, and then on the way back, they're going to pick up this alien thing. And the company has a whole policy about if you find something alien, you have to investigate it or you don't get paid. You know what I mean? There's a really great world building in this movie. Yeah,
it's subtle. It's very subtle. Yeah. If you miss it, you miss it.
Right. So that's the whole reason it's on there. The crew was expendable. They didn't care about that. All they wanted was that alien thing and their ore. Because it's not going to attack a robot. It doesn't care about him.
It won't. It wouldn't. It doesn't even register it as something to attack.
It could have been a road movie with a robot and an alien.
Imagine that. Imagine the scene awesome. From Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where he's sleeping and John Candy's driving and they're doing the messing around.
Yeah,
right. It's the xenomorph. I think it's a very interesting way to set up your villain.
Yeah.
To never show him. Like Weyland Yutani's a guy and he will show up later. But they never show him. It's just the corporation. And they like that they keep saying that.
Yeah.
It's for the corporation.
Right.
because it doesn't matter. There's no reasoning with a corporation.
Right.
You're kind of screwed.
The suit said this.
Yeah.
And so now we got to do it.
That's it. The show's over. You're either on board or you're off board. And if you're off board, you're dead.
Yeah.
And you're on board, you're dead. They
don't care.
And that's something I do like about Romulus too, is that they collected a whole bunch of xenomorph or face huggers and they froze them.
Yeah.
They didn't even bother with the eggs. It's like they harvested them.
And that's supposed to take place a few years after this.
Yeah.
And they already have all them.
They're already ready.
Right.
They're just looking for another one. They're greedy. And it's almost like he never actually gets one because he's always looking for him. Wayland might be dead by this time. The only other time we see him in this era is in Prometheus. Because he's on Earth in AVP.
Before this, though.
It is. It's hundreds of years before, and he's an old man.
Before Alien.
Yeah. And then on Earth, in Alien versus Predator, he's played by the same guy who plays Bishop in Aliens, which I think is cool. They modeled it off of him.
Did you say Alien versus Predator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess that's the first time he sees him.
That is the first time you see him.
And that's when he gets obsessed with it. Those movies technically aren't canon to the Alien timeline.
Yeah.
But it's more fun if they are.
It is, yeah. It is more.
Yeah. Those movies, I think, get a little overhated, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, I like the first Alien versus Predator. No matter who wins, we lose.
See, great tagline.
Yeah, and I really didn't care for Requiem that much. And it just went too far with the Alien is like a Predator and
See, I like that because it shows that whatever host they
kind of mimic it or use their DNA for them. Yeah.
It's the perfect blending of the two.
Yeah, it makes more sense that they do that, but I just didn't care for it. And it's based on a comic book series that
Dark Horse did.
Yeah, Dark Horse did them. But that's more like the alien or the predators and the humans are working together against aliens. A lot of those stories are like that.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that really worked because the predators,
they're pretty ruthless. But the one in Alien versus Predator, the predator respects that.
Yeah, he acknowledges that
much.
she's not just
she's one of him.
Yeah.
And then Predators, where the humans go to that planet, is pretty cool too. And like
I like that too.
They respect the worst of people.
Yeah. Or they wanted an extra challenge or something like that. And, they never say that planet is the Predator's planet.
No.
It could just be another hunting ground. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's a safari kind of place. That's what I think.
Like a big game thing.
Yeah.
Like they're fox hunters. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's very messed up.
That's
very
messed
cool.
up. And people don't talk about this. The movie Prey shows a early Predator going up against early humans, right?
Yep.
In that movie, which I think is really cool that we follow the natives, Native Americans, and they're speaking English, and then when the French show up, they're not.
Right.
So we as the audience are like, what are you saying? Like we can't, we don't know what you're talking about. I like that a lot. I think that's really cool.
They're aliens.
Yeah. But one of the French guys dies, and she takes his pistol, his little flintlock there. It's the same pistol as an Easter egg in Predator 2.
Yeah.
That Lethal Weapon guy, what's his name?
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover gets from the Predators. They're like, okay, you bested our guy. He ain't getting his stuff.
Right.
You can have this human trinket back.
Yeah.
Which means they came back and killed her and took that as a trophy. I don't think anybody was thinking that. Like the Predators have that gun in Predator 2, not the human.
Right. Yeah.
Like she had that, which means, okay, you won round 1.
Right.
They win round 2. And the humans don't win another round, I guess, until Arnold and Predator.
Right.
I guess we're just...
Because they just get away in Alien 2 or Predator 2.
Yeah.
They just leave.
They kind of take the money and get out. They don't even let him die there. You don't blow up the city or anything.
Nope.
But then you do have Gary Busey there, who is just as ugly. But the movie ends with Sigourney Weaver blowing up the Nostromo and escaping in the escape pod.
Right.
And the alien, of course, is on that, and she blasts it into space.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I think this is, because I guess, okay, in this shot, I can see the human skull back there. I can see it. Now I will acknowledge that it's there, but...
Which shot?
So the alien is gripping the sides. It's being sucked down into space right before she, I think, shoots it.
Yeah, she get it's like a grappling gun looking thing. Or
it was harpoon.
Harpoon thing, yeah.
But here I can see it. This is the only thing. This is live on air. I am acknowledging and seeing for the first time in my life the human skull inside the alien's head. All right, I concede.
I'll look at that again because I much prefer that it doesn't look anything like anything.
Yeah, after we wrap, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's funky looking.
Yeah. One thing I do want to talk about that I did not know this. Dan O'Bannon is very prolific, and we were talking about it the other day, and how cool he is with the Dark Star. Excuse me, but he also worked on Star Wars on some of the special effects.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not know that at all. Miniatures and optical effects. Then he did this. He also worked on the visual effects, some of the visual effects for this alien. He wrote 2 segments for Heavy Metal, the cartoon movie that's based on it's a magazine for adults. It's really cool. He wrote Blue Thunder. Do you know what Blue Thunder is?
No.
Oh, it's an awesome. Roy Scheider's in it, and Malcolm McDowell. And the police get this helicopter. It's called Blue Thunder. That it's got like whisper mode and that kind of stuff. It's really cool. And we'll do Blue Thunder some other time.
Okay.
But Blue Thunder is a great movie with Roy Scheider. Then it was a TV show, and he wrote and directed a couple episodes of that. Guess what he wrote and directed?
What?
The Return of the Living Dead.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know that was him.
We just were talking about that.
Yeah, and he also did a movie called Life Force that Tobe Hooper directed. Have you ever heard of that one?
I have.
It's space vampires. One. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I got a cool steelbook of that. It's pretty cool. I got for this podcast. I was like, well, we got to do that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's really underappreciated. A friend of mine in high school, he saw it on TV. And he's like, you got to check this out. It's awesome. And he was right. It is very cool. He also wrote the remake of Invaders from Mars. And he did the original. He's the writer for Total Recall, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Cool.
And he did the story for the crappy one that you don't even bother watching. But the original Total Recall you should check out, which is a Philip K. Dick adaptation.
It's got Michael Ironside in it.
Yeah, it's got Michael Ironside in it. And he also did Screamers. He wrote Screamers, which is another Philip K. Dick adaptation. And both of those movies really do not resemble their source material. But the source material, you should read Philip K. Dick. It's great stuff. But these 2 movies are really good too. Screamers has I can't think of his name, but it was a lesser known movie.
Mm. I have to check those out.
And he also did the story for Alien versus Predator and, like I said, Total Recall. But that guy, all this stuff, all this great stuff. And I don't think he probably got the love from the industry for this stuff. But he should be up there with Steven Spielberg and stuff because he's prolific and good stuff.
I'm kind of surprised by that. If he was that around, because like people know, maybe they don't. But Burr from ILM, people know him very well.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think he's underappreciated.
And that's a shame.
It is a shame.
That is a shame.
But we could still enjoy his work.
We can because he's got
dead
great
now,
work.
so he doesn't get to enjoy the glory, but we get to. And like all those movies, especially like Total Recall, Return of the Living Dead and Life Force are definitely, you should check them out if you've never seen them.
We will check them out.
Yeah, we will check them out, man.
We'll check them out here on the podcast. So to wrap things up just a little bit,
you appreciate Alien, but you don't really like it.
Right. Yeah. I do. And you love Alien.
I love it,
even though it's boring.
Appreciate it.
And yeah, I would 100%, even though I don't find it to be the best one, I still give it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Like I'm not stupid. Like I can recognize a good movie.
Yeah.
So I would definitely give this movie 2 thumbs up. It is a must see.
Yeah.
It really is. I got the privilege of showing it to Courtney for the first time, and that was wonderful. She had never seen it.
Right. And then there's 4 Alien movies.
Yeah.
Then
of
2
varying quality.
Kind of offshoot movies, Prometheus and
Alien Covenant.
Right, which I really love, which is great. It's not an alien movie, it's a mad scientist movie. And then the 2 Alien versus Predator movies. You guys, you were talking about toys and all that stuff earlier, because they're still putting out Alien toys.
Yeah, NECA does Alien still.
Yeah,
NECA still's got the Alien toys.
Yeah, and it's a, I don't know, part of American culture.
It is.
Because it's huge and it's been around forever.
It's got good legs on it. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't really think it could be replaced either. Like I don't see a future where they remake Alien. And
no way.
Yeah, I don't think it could be.
You just got to keep making other different stories with that
in the same universe. Yeah, just keep adding on to it.
Yep.
Until you got nothing else to add. But anything else you'd like to contribute?
No, I think I covered everything.
I think we did. I think we fully explored the world of Alien and its impact on the American people.
Yeah.
As always, my friends and family, I am Cheese Film.
And I am Hecubus.
This is the Grindhouse Podcast. You, my friend, should check out our website.
Definitely.
Where we have exclusive merchandise.
That's really cool.
It is really cool. Mr. Hecubus is a big fan of the Grindhouse shirt. He wears it every single time.
To promote it. But yeah, I'm going to put another one up there probably next week.
Yeah, I want to add some more stuff too. Behind Mr. Hecubus's shoulder is a poster. And actually, I'm behind the cameras this time, and I've got... And I can't show it to you because everything's underneath it, but I've got the desk mat. Very comfortable, very clean. The color came out great. I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
And it's nice and big. It's one of the nice big ones.
Yeah, it's quality stuff.
It is.
I'm very happy with it.
So please leave a comment, like, share, send it to your friends, send it to your worst enemies, send it to everybody who loves cinema and wants to join the conversation. Give us a shout out. Give us a recommendation.
Definitely give us a recommendation.
Because we want to talk about movies with you.
We're going to talk about movies.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
And we'd like to talk about ones you like too.
Yeah. We want you in the conversation. We're not making that up. We want you there.
Yeah.
But that is all I've got to say about Alien. And if I don't see you, I forgot those words. Cheese Film out.
Are we good?
We're clear.
All right. I got to go get Mikey. I'll be right back. We do a movie that's entirely different.
You ended up watching it last night?
Yeah, I did watch it last night. I love that movie.